It's that time of year again for all creatures great. Side resort immortalised by the folk song, famous in the 18th century as a spa town and for nude bathing, and now preparing to face a full frontal assault from Britain's finest in pursuit of the Citroën Vans trophy for Britain's strongest man.
30 men are here in Scarborough. They compete in 5 groups of 6, and the top 2 in each heat go through to the final. All of them looking to succeed 3 times champion Glenn Ross and last year's winner Mark Iliff.
Well, sadly, Mark Iliff's not able to defend his crown this year following his death a few months ago. But here are the first 6 men looking to succeed him as Britain's strongest man.
Giving us his expert advice and guiding us through this year's event, the man who devises some of these challenges, Jamie Reeves, crowned the world's strongest man in 1989.
Out of all the guys who've come here today to compete for Britain's strongest man, we've got a former champion and we've got people snapping at his heels. This first event is about strength and endurance, and everybody's got to be in tip-top shape to finish this first event.
All strongman events start in car parks, so here we go, down by the harbour. First event, 2 elements. Carry these 2 giant anvils that weigh 240 kilograms. And after running back, then flip this giant tyre that weighs 400 kilograms to the end of the course. Schoolboy stuff.
Commentary from who else? Paul Dickinson.
Well, this is our first look at Carl Broomfield from Stoke-on-Trent, former athlete. He used to do high jump. He's put on a bit of weight since then, though. Next to him, another newcomer, Oli Thompson from Bexhill-on-Sea, the reigning south of England's strongest man. And finally from Fort William, Lewis McLean. Well, what a start to this year's competition. 2 massive weights they've got to carry down the course, and both anvils weigh in at over 500 pounds, and on the far side in the yellow, Carl Broomfield going well, so is Lewis McLean, but it's Broomfield who drops them first. Lewis in second, Oli Thompson in third. All 3 going well. Carl Broomfield getting away quickly here. He's one of the lightest men in this year's competition at just over 17.5 stone. And that may be an advantage in this particular competition. Speed is of the essence. 400 kilograms, that tyre weighs in. And Carl Broomfield and Oli Thompson right next to each other. This is so close. Carl Broomfield getting stuck a little bit. Oli Thompson catching up, and Lewis McLean wins it. And the timekeepers will have to sort out who came second and third. That was so close. But what a start for Lewis McLean.
I think you were a little bit behind with about 5 yards to go. Were you looking across at the other guys?
I don't know, I've never seen nothing. just managing to get to the line and no more. That's all you're hoping for. I haven't got time to look at anyone else.
Bill Pittuck on the far side in the black, the first to be introduced to the crowd. The old campaigner, always a very tough competitor. Next to him, the man who was a revelation in last year's competition. He made the final, Mick Gosling. Mick from Wolverhampton. And the biggest man, the heaviest man in this heat, Brian Turner from Dumbarton in Scotland. Good time set by Lewis McLean, 51.69, the time to beat. Away we go with these 120-kilogram anvils. And it's Mick Gosling who burst ahead of Bill Pittuck. Both men down and back for the tyre. Brian Turner's got a lot of work to do now. Good start by Mick Gosling. Very, very tall is Mick Gosling in the centre, but he's getting stuck with that tyre. Bill Pittuck is coming on strong now, as is Brian Turner. And can you believe it, Mick Gosling, after that tremendous start, is now in third place. Bill Pittuck is actually lagging behind Brian Turner at the moment. The Scotsman is coming through very quickly. And Turner, if he can get this one over, just one flip to go. The clock ticking away. Let's remind ourselves what he's got to beat. 51.69, it's going to be close, but he's going to miss out, and that means Lewis McLean has won. Turner's time, 53.11. Great celebration from Turner. And Bill Pittuck on the far side, he's going to have to watch that knee. If that tyre comes back on his knee, it could do some serious damage, but he finishes now, 66.60. Very tired indeed is Pittuck.
Oh, I thought I was going to win it. Definitely. Trained hard, so believe, self-belief in myself, so happy.
Thought you'd retired.
It's one more year, that's it. Last year, this year. Just I've been trying hard with Adam Townsend. Training's been going good, so I thought I'd have a go.
Better train a bit harder than Bill. Just the 2 points in fifth place for the old stager. Lewis McLean winning the carry and flip ahead of Carl Broomfield.
In 1801, the Scarborough lifeboat's been responsible for saving hundreds of lives out on the treacherous North Sea. But there better not be a call out over the next few minutes, because event 2 requires our strongmen to drag this huge anchor that weighs 250 kilograms up the lifeboat slipway to the end as quickly as possible.
Mick Gosling nearest the camera, along with Bill Pittuck. And these two guys really do need the points now. We're going in reverse order from the finishing times in the last event. Referee Douglas Edmunds gets them underway. And both of them away to a very good start. Gosling absolutely screaming every time he turns on the pressure. There's Mick Gosling, 6'5", very tall, very strong. Bill Pittuck a little bit shorter, but still weighs in at over 20 stone. Well, can you believe it? They've both come to a grinding halt. 60 seconds, the time limit. And normally, of course, as Mick Gosling sitting there looking perplexed, there's a lifeboat thundering down the slipway here. This time the chain and anchor weighing in at over 620 pounds. On both sides, grinding halt, that's the end of the time. And for the time being, Bill Pittuck is just in the lead.
Started off quite well. I seemed to hit a sticky patch, I think Mick did as well. That was it, just couldn't move it. It's very hard on your grip. Once your grip goes, you finished.
Sit. Our next heat, Oli Thompson, nearest the camera in the green vest, and Brian Turner. He really is a massive guy. Turner fancies playing a bit of rugby next winter to get himself fit for the next strongman season, and it's Turner who gets away first. Oli Thompson, well, I'm not sure he's moved it yet, and Thompson is finding this very difficult. Turner is going well. He's almost up on what Bill Pittuck did. He goes past 6 metres. That's very good news indeed for Brian Turner. But what about Oli Thompson? This is desperate. There's big Brian Turner. He weighs in at well over 20 stones body weight, and I think helping him. A couple of pulls, he could make it through to the finish. This is very, very good indeed by Brian Turner. No sign of Oli Thompson shifting it yet. One more pull will do it from Turner. A couple of inches, and he's done it. 44.71, and that is going to be very tough to beat indeed. What a cracking start to this competition by Turner. And poor old Oli Thompson, he's only got a couple of seconds left. Well, he's only managed to shift it a couple of inches at most.
So what's the secret between making that easy and not struggling like everyone else has?
Scottish porridge. Can't beat it. The boys ought to try it, but don't tell them that.
Well, Lewis McLean's obviously eating the wrong kind of breakfast cereal, just 3.85 metres for him. Carl Broomfield struggling a bit too. 4 metres was his tally, which put them down in joint 3rd and 5th place in the arm-over-arm. Turner and Pittuck, the top scorers there. And so, after 2 events, a fascinating-looking scoreboard, just 2 points separating the top 4 men.
He's my husband, and he weighs 20 stone. For the last 16 years, he's worked at a brewery as a brewery operative. And sometimes people are a bit phased because of his size. But when you get to know him, you know he's a generally nice bloke who'll do anything for anyone. He sat at work on the forklift and wrote me a poem for our wedding anniversary. That makes me cry. One of his downfalls is snoring. I think I might actually smother him with a pillow before the finals. He's so bad at DIY that I have to get my dad in to do it. He just does everything on hammer drill, whatever it is. He never normally cleans windows, so how you actually got him up there to do that, you must have paid him a lot of money.
A few miles south along the coast from Scarborough, you find the pretty town of Filey. A couple of miles south from there, the Primrose Valley Holiday Park, and it's here that we find a fiendish new event for Britain's strongest man.
This next event will separate the men from the boys. It's the deadlift. It's just about pure brute strength. After each successful attempt, a barrel will fall into this basket. Each barrel will be the equivalent of a bag of cement.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see how Oli Thompson gets on here. Looking a bit nervous, as you would expect of somebody competing in their very first Britain's Strongest Man competition.
Lift!
So here we go, 550 pounds, easy. And this piece of equipment really is fantastic. Certainly one of Jamie Reeves' best inventions as far as strongman is concerned. The weight being added. Third barrel, and that means 628 pounds, and Thompson is going well. No problems so far. No hanging around, waiting for the extra weight to be added, as we've had in previous competition. Barrel number 5. This is a cracking start by Oli Thompson. The man from Bexhill-on-Sea is going well, but he's struggling there. The time limit is 75 seconds, so he can try this again. Concentration and determination required now. Wearing no shoes, that gives the lifter a better position. But he's finished. That is it. 300 kilograms, the weight lifted by Oli Thompson. A great effort.
Following him, Lewis McLean managed 3 lifts in 18.64. Then Mick Gosling, who did so well last year, 4 in 32.3. And slightly quicker, Carl Broomfield, 4 in 29.75.
Bill Pittuck now knows that Oli Thompson is still in the lead. This guy's a good powerlifter. And very, very fast indeed there. Onto the third barrel already. If there was a tie, the timekeepers would come into operation. The fastest time for the barrels would win. And not using his legs there at all. This is all back. This certainly is a big effort by Bill Pittuck. The former world's strongest man competitor is going well. Now this one to beat Oli Thompson. If he gets it, he's in the lead. The total weight just over 700 pounds, and he's got it. Dougie Edmunds says yes, and Bill Pittuck is in the lead at the moment. Superb effort. And He can't manage the last one. That was an extra 15 kilos. And for the time being, Bill Pittuck is in first place.
Now, you work in a brewery, don't you?
Yeah.
So, don't you think you've got a bit of an unfair advantage?
I don't do anything like that. That's strange.
What have you got, though? You know, what is it about your technique or whatever it is that actually means you make that look so much easier than everybody else does?
I'm very strong in the lower back. I couldn't do a lot more than that in the gym, but because it's increasing the weight, every rep's increased, makes it very hard. I can do 360 kilos in the gym. The top weight's only 335, so I thought I'd do the last one. Whew, that's good. I'll be there. I'll be in the final.
A very confident Bill Pittuck, but now it's the turn of Brian Turner. 2 metres tall, 157 kilos body weight. That looked easy. Now the barrels are added. And going well is Brian Turner. Solid, determined. The Scotsman from Dumbarton is lifting well. But what a target that Bill Pittuck has set. Well, before this competition started, anything to do with deadlift, we all thought Brian Turner would go well. And he is going well, but he's got a problem. He could well have pulled a muscle in his back, so what about the future events for the Scotsman? Bill Pittuck has won this competition. Brian Turner has got problems.
But he still scored well there, finishing in third place, picking up 4 points. Obviously, Bill Pittuck getting the 6 for winning the deadlift. And that means Turner and Pittuck leading the way after 3 events. But there's still only 3 points between the top 4 men.
This is Oliver's Mount racetrack overlooking Scarborough, and it's here that Barry Sheen won his last professional road race. And that leads us neatly into our next event. The guys have to carry 2 Triumph 600cc motorbikes weighing 360 kilograms. That's about the weight of 2 motorbikes. And they have to carry them that quick.
Lewis McLean, the first to attempt this terrible event. It's a massive weight, and the balance is going to be a problem as well.
Are you ready?
Yep. 2 bikes weighing in at 360 kilos. And the first problem is to get it over the line, and already the bikes are being put down on the ground. So our man from Fort William, it's so slow and steady, heading off towards 5 metres. That's the first marker on this course. And anybody who's got a motorcycle, like I have, and has dropped it like I have, will know just how heavy these things are. He's just over 5 metres. And this is all about heart and lungs as well, and then balance. Body weight doesn't really matter. There's a massive amount of strength that's got to go into this, from the shoulders, the legs, the lower back, just about everywhere. Oh. This is enormous in terms of the weight and the effort provided. He's round about 7 metres or thereabouts. Has he had enough? Yes, he has. And the tape measure will come out and measure it at around about 7.2 metres. Total exhaustion for Lewis McLean.
And this was tough, wasn't it? Mick Gosling managed just 1.6 metres. Oli Thompson, 2.3. And then it was Carl Broomfield who managed 3.5 metres.
Your position.
Well, Brian Turner has had intensive treatment since that last event on his lower back. But I just wonder how this is going to affect him. He's equal first at the moment overall with Bill Pittuck. So this really a crucial event if this man is hoping to get through to the final. Oh, my goodness. Away we go at the second attempt. It's slow, it's steady, he's rocking and rolling just a little bit. And believe me, this guy is very, very strong. All of these guys are. But I think the balance is the real problem here. He's wearing weightlifting boots to try and just give a little more stability to his feet and ankles. That is heading towards 5 metres. It's still Lewis McLean in the lead at 7.25. That's just over 22 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. And down it goes again. I can't believe how much these guys are expending in energy. They've only moved 5 metres, but with over 700 pounds on their back. Exhaustion doesn't take long to start showing. Oh, almost went over the top there. I think he may have had enough now. He's going to try again. I don't think the crowd can actually believe what they're seeing here. And that is the end. The time limit has run out. Brian Turner, 6.35. He's in second place.
Did it almost take you by surprise?
Well, I thought it'd be heavy, but not quite as heavy as that. When I done Scotland's strongest man, it was 375, but that was heavy. That was heavy.
And just tell us, the fact that it's obviously not a static weight, but it keeps moving around, what impact does that have on you doing it?
Lower back's twisting all the time, so try to keep it stable is the hardest part. But I should be good at it because I've got a big waist, so it's normally a good event, but see how it goes.
Well, Bill Pittuck has got a real chance here. Equal with Brian Turner before this event. If he can beat Turner and perhaps beat Lewis McLean as well, well, he could well be on his way to his final. He's already told us that is where he's going to be. He's going well at the moment. This is a superb effort from Bill Pittuck. Up towards 5 metres. Beyond 5 metres. What a great effort. The man from Northampton has gone into the lead. This is superb. He's going to win it on that. He goes down, but he knows he's won it. There's no need to go anymore. That is over 11 metres and maximum points for Bill Pittuck. Absolutely superb.
I think I could go all the way then. Very heavy. Very heavy. Jesus. That's a good event for me normally. I'm quite quick. But you can't go quick with that way. No way.
So when you look at all the problems that everybody else was having, you know, how were you able to do it so easily, as you said?
They're taking 2 big steps. You've got to take little small steps. When you stand up with it, get your composure, then walk. Don't stand up and try and go off. You have to very small steps as well because it's so heavy. But I like the final. Go a bit faster in the final. Yeah, chip for that.
11.15 metres, not very far, but good enough for Bill Pittuck to pick up the 6 points there, ahead of Lewis McLean. Brian Turner in 3rd place, and it means Pittuck now has a 2-point cushion ahead of Turner at the top, with just 1 event to go. Carl Broomfield, though, snapping at Turner's heels.
This strongman is my fiancé. I've known him for 10 years. He comes from the Midlands. He works with his dad in the fire protection industry. They fit sprinklers. He's got a very placid nature. To me, he's the original gentle giant, although to you viewers at home, you'll probably think he's one of the smallest in the lineup. He's got a big heart, he's a warrior. If he doesn't make it to the finals this year, you'll definitely see him next year. Second to strongman, he enjoys his fishing. Doesn't get to go very often because he's always training, but when he does, you'll find him at the side of the lake. He's a pretty good fisherman. He's caught some good fish, some good carp.
For those of you who are new to Britain's Strongest Man, an idiot's guide to this, our final event, the Atlas Stones. 5 giant boulders to be placed on this wall. Now this one's hard. This is harder. That's extremely hard. That's impossibly hard. And as for this last one, forget it.
Representing Scotland,
Lewis McLean in the white. He's standing next to Carl Broomfield. And both of these guys have got an outside chance of reaching the final. It all depends on the next few minutes. Carl Broomfield from Stoke-on-Trent. He's done very well in this competition for a first-timer in Britain's Strongest Man. So here we go, 100 kilos the first ball. Oh, Lewis McLean threw it up on his shoulder. Good start for the Scotsman. Broomfield just a little bit behind. McLean is streaking ahead at the moment, but crashes into the wall. 110 kilos, that's over 17 stone. And all of a sudden, Broomfield moves into the lead. Now, the timekeepers will stop the clock every time one of these guys gets one of these giant granite balls up on the wall. so that in the event of it, they know who's won. They're both on number 4. McLean has come back into it, big time. This one weighs 310 kilos, and Broomfield's ahead. His fiancée Sharon absolutely rooting for this guy. Broomfield's got a real chance here. 160 kilos, the big one weighs. And what is Sharon thinking? She's certainly encouraging her guy to get that ball up. It's over 350 pounds. Come on, everybody is saying. Well, Broomfield has come through strongly in this last event for him. Oh, what a finish. Carl Broomfield moves into the lead. 4 stones in 44.54 seconds.
Felt okay, I knew I could do 4. But the 5th one, it's a big jump to that one. That's really heavy.
Get ready.
I think that's an understatement, saying it's really heavy as our last pairing goes. Bill Pittuck up against Brian Turner. And Pittuck is so experienced. He always knocked that one up with his head. Turner slightly ahead. But what sort of problems has he got with his back? Oh, went crashing into the wall there. And Pittuck is in the lead. Just. Well, they know exactly what they've got to do. A fast start from both men may well bring them close to the leading time of 44.54 for 4 stones by Carl Broomfield. Turner stuck. He just can't shift that 3rd stone. It weighs 120 kilos. This is looking good for Pittuck. And he may well be just outside the time set by Carl Broomfield, but that is the 2nd fastest we've seen so far. And I think, unofficially, Bill Pittuck is on his way to the final. Number 5 is proving too difficult, even for the big man from Northampton, and Brian Turner has blown it. It may well have all stemmed from those problems he had with his back earlier. So Brian Turner, a frustrated spectator. Bill Pittuck knows he's done enough. I think the old warhorse has made it through to the final. What a brutal climax to the end of Heat 1.
Put 4 stones up at the Scottish, so I'm gutted. I mean, I led for so long and I thought I was through, but maybe it's for the best. Go through the final with my back still the way it is. I would have done nothing anyway, so maybe it's for the best. Next year.
Well, it was an hard battle to get there after this morning. That was heavy, them bags. I'm just glad I've done it now.
He's been coming down training with me every Sunday, but getting no more. He's getting too good. So I'm chuffed for him, really I'm chuffed for him. Like. He's trying really hard for this, so I've been doing it years, so it's like a little oldie for me. But yeah, I'm chuffed. Through again. No injuries this time. Injury free. Carl. Cheers, mate.
Well, bitter disappointment for Brian Turner. Just 2 stones, 1 point, and that last event cooked his goose. And so Bill Pittuck, after a disappointing first event when he finished just 5th, comes through to win Heat 1 with a 3.5 point margin ahead of Carl Broomfield, and they are the first 2 men through to the Citroën Vans Trophy final.
Hello, Bill. Well done getting to the final again, mate. You get some real quality gear out here now.
Oh, lovely, yeah, thanks very much. Have a smell of that.
Back in the 60s, the Aidensfield Constabulary had it easy. They didn't have to contend with these guys.
Scarborough Castle's certainly seen some action over the years. 5 medieval sieges, incessant bombardment from the Germans during World War I, and in between, it was the last royalist stronghold on the east coast until Oliver Cromwell came storming in, and this magnificent viewpoint is called Oliver's Mount in his memory. But which of our Cavalier strongmen are going to make it through from Heat 2 in the battle to win the Citroën Van Trophy? And this one's no exception. We're down by the harbour for the carry and drag. You have to carry this weight. It's 200 kilograms. It does what it says on the can, and then 10 metres later...
This giant anchoring chain weighs 300 kilograms. It's all got to be pulled across the finish line. My tip for the top, Eddy Ellwood, goes in this heat. We can all see he's got the bodywork, but has he got the engine to become Britain's strongest man?
The strong man in the commentary box is Paul Dickinson.
Well, the harbour is absolutely packed here for our first event, and here's our first competitor, Phil Porter, the reigning strongest man in Ireland. Next to him, one of the great favourites here, Mlan. He comes from Scarborough. He's a police officer, and this is the guy that locks them up. And then he hands them over to our prison officer from Perthshire in Scotland, Alistair Christie, in his very first Britain's Strongest Man competition. So here we go, 200 kilograms, and away we go. On the far side, Porter is going well. Mlan.'s got a lot of work to do. Christie topples over. What a good start by Phil Porter. And Phil Porter, of course, is married to Trish, who competed in World's Strongest Woman last year, and Porter is coming away, all the way over the line. What a cracking start. Mlan did well to come through into second place. And what about Alistair Christie? He's nowhere to be seen. That is a fantastic start by Phil Porter, being congratulated by Glen Ross, former winner of Britain's Strongest Man, and Alistair Christie is absolutely shattered.
Tell us about that.
Lighter than what we were training with. We trained with a chain and anchor weighed 385, so it made a big difference when it came to the dragon. It's good. Enjoyed it.
Everybody always says that Eddie is the man to beat in this heat. How do you assess it?
Well, I think he is. That's why I wanted to set a good fast time there. So just have to wait and see now.
The competitors lined up for our second heat. And first of all, 23-year-old Tim Thacker, training partner of Mlan. Another competitor who will have a great deal of support here. And next, 5 times Mr. Universe, the former bodybuilding champion, Eddy Ellwood. Jamie Reeves tipped for the top. And finally, Paul Porteous from Edinburgh, a quiet man, and second in this year's Scottish Strongest Man competition. Just remind ourselves what they've got to beat, 20.66 seconds by Phil Porter, and it's neck and neck between Ellwood and Tim Thacker. Ellwood is absolutely flying. Ellwood is running away with this. This is superb. And surely he's going to beat the time set by Phil Porter. Oh, he's miles ahead. 17.51, absolutely brilliant. Paul Porteous comes through into second place, Tim Thacker in third, and it's maximum points already for the bodybuilding champion, Eddy Ellwood. Absolutely superb.
I'm back. I told you I'd be back.
It goes without saying, you're in fantastic shape. How confident are you?
I had a poor start last year, and I'm not as strong as I was last year, but
I've had all the props to play with all year. I got myself a stone wall built straight away, and as long as I keep injury at bay, I'm quite confident.
Having won Mr. Universe, 5 times, I think?
5 times, yeah.
How much would it mean to you to actually win this?
It's another challenge. I'm a very competitive person, and I had to look for another challenge, and that's all it is for me, a challenge. I want to go to the Worlds this year if I can.
And obviously nothing but victory is good enough then as a result?
No, not really.
Looking in pretty good nick in that first event, Eddy Ellwood wins the carry and drag, 17.51 seconds, picks up the 6 points, and Phil Porter takes second.
Are you going to Scarborough?
Now here's an event out of the guidebook for really strong men, the Pillars of Hercules. These 2 massive towers have to be held like this in the crucifix position for as long as possible until your biceps burst and your eyes pop out of their sockets. Nice.
Tim Thacker, well, he's really psyched up for this one. It's very difficult to train for this event, and in the end it's just a question of grip strength, determination, and trying to block out the pain. No time limit, of course. It's just as long as possible. You can hang on to those 350-pound pillars. This an old favourite of Britain's Strongest Man competition. The chains are released and away we go. Well, goodness only knows why, but Tim Thacker, his nickname is Tiny Tim. He's absolutely huge, especially in the shoulder, the arm, and the chest region. Heading towards 20 seconds now. Head down. The grimace on his face, maybe just telling a little bit of a story here. But now towards 30 seconds, this is a very good start for Tim Thacker. Anything over 40 seconds would be absolutely superb. And one of the telltale signs is that their arms and shoulders start shaking. I can't see any sign of that at the moment, though. This is good. It's going towards 50 seconds now. Oh, there he goes. 50.13. That is a very good effort by Tim Thacker. A lot of pain in those arms now. Goodness only knows what he was thinking about during those last few seconds. It looked agonising.
Yeah, it went quite well for me, I think. Just trying to get over 40 seconds, listening to Mal's voice and that. Just sort of trying to, you know, mind over matter, trying to think of some sort of, I got a song in my head and just trying to think it through. I had like a Slipknot song in my head. I can't tell you what it is because it's got a swear word in it, like, but just wait until it finished till I could, you know, so I could keep going. And that was it.
What a standard Tim Thacker has set for the rest to follow, 50.13. This is Phil Porter getting ready now, the chalk on the hands to give a little bit of extra grip.
Be ready.
Phil is the reigning strongest man in Ireland. Porter, of course, married to Trish Porter. Competed so well in World's Strongest Woman last year.
Phil, are you ready?
He says yes, he's ready to referee Douglas Edmunds.
Breathe.
And Douglas Edmunds actually has just had a couple of hips replaced, so we wish him well on his road to recovery, but he's looking good, as is Phil Porter here. Massive forearms. Looking pretty solid as he goes towards 20 seconds. Each of those pillars weighing in at over 160 kilograms, 350 pounds. Over 30 now. Legs apart. Head back. Just breathing steadily, trying to block out. That's the most difficult thing here. I think his grip's going just a little bit. Phil Porter, 45 seconds. And he's gone, 47.29. Another good effort, but still a couple of seconds behind Tim Thacker, who's still in the lead.
Well, after him, Alistair Christie managed 37.98 seconds. And then the local Bobby, Mal Kay, he achieved 29.73.
Paul Porteous next, the man from Scotland, who's trained by Jamie Barr. He's a former finalist in Britain's Strongest Man, so I'm sure he would have tried to give this fella quite a few tips. Just trying to get that grip absolutely right before those giant pillars of Hercules are released. Here we go, the clock is ticking. It's still 50.13 by Tim Thacker. That's the time that everybody has to beat, and there's only Eddy Ellwood to go in this heat after Paul. Looking rock steady at 20 seconds now. Now this guy weighs in at round about 140 kilos. That's nearly 310 pounds, 22 stone. His arms are nearly being pulled out of his sockets. He's telling himself, come on, I can do this. 40 seconds, going well. Well, Phil Porter was 47.29, and the Scotsman has gone past that target. The next target, 50.13, he's done it. He's in the lead. A great effort from Paul Porteous. Going towards 60 seconds, and in fact the clock stops at 58.09, and that is a massive total of time for Eddy Ellwood to chase.
58 seconds, so too short of a minute, eh?
I know. I was aiming for the minute, but it starts to bully from side to side, so I thought for safety's sake I let it go. It's not a bad thing. Quite happy with that.
So the quiet man from Scotland, I'm sure he's going to improve his position from third place after that event, but now it's Eddy Ellwood. We'll certainly get a chance to see the massive muscles on this guy, especially in his upper body. Now, he tore a bicep in the heats of Britain's Strongest Man last year. This is the sort of event that could affect any muscle tears. Huge forearms, and look at his shoulders. Looking comfortable towards 20 seconds. Let's just remind ourselves what he's got to beat. Porteous, 58.09. Thacker, 50.13. And Porter, 47.29. Over 30 seconds. Looking good is Eddy Ellwood. Going for victory number 2. Rock steady in the middle of those two giant pillars. Eddy Ellwood shaking, and he's gone. 44.14, he's in fourth place, and I think that means Paul Porteous will go into the lead.
Was that a tactical decision to let it go there?
No, I was pulling on the biceps a bit, and I don't want to injure myself, so I'm just want to save myself for the rest of the events. I don't want to go out like last year.
Well, Eddy Ellwood just picking up 3 points there, but he'll have been happy enough with that, although Paul Porteous, an immense performance, 58.9 seconds, and that meant that he was the overall leader after 2 events. Ellwood and Porter joint second place.
This strongman is my husband. We've been married 3 years. We have 3 kids. We are from Mahara, County Londonderry, and he is Ireland's strongest man. He's a joiner by trade. He's also a door supervisor. In between that there, he finds time to train for strongman. He's a very quiet person. It would take a lot to know him. He's a great family man, and a lot of kids would come up and ask him for his autograph, and he thinks that's great. He loves messing about and fooling about with the kids, so it doesn't really surprise me to see him playing in the sand.
Believe you me, when the tide's really out, this beach is absolutely monstrous. And that's why in the Second World War they used it as an emergency landing strip. We've come down the coast a few miles to Filey, to the Primrose Valley holiday camp, and up on the cliff top, event 3.
This is the squat lift. Not only does it test legs and back strength, it's also a race against the clock. And there's an old saying with strongmen: if you can't squat, don't even call yourself a strong man.
Mal Kay, the first athlete we're going to see in this squat lift. The same basis we're using as we had for the deadlift. It really is a superb bit of equipment. Saves a lot of time loading the weights on. Just watch this. There we go, one more barrel. And down for lift number 2. And Mal Kay is going well. Now this is surprising. He's well over 6 feet 3 inches tall, and normally good squatting is reserved for guys who are a little shorter. And that bar now weighing in at over 600 pounds. 4 barrels on that rack. Lift number 5, and he gets it. This is a great effort by Mal Kay. This is a huge weight now, 300 kilograms. comes. Oh, he's gone. He whacked his head on the bar on the way down. I think he may have bitten his tongue as well. Good effort, though, from Malkay.
How much does it mean to you to do well here, given the fact this is your beat, literally?
Yeah, it's my beat. I work here. Like I said to Will, my mother's in hospital. She had breast cancer and she's had an operation yesterday to remove the cancer. And so my mind was somewhere else yesterday, but I went to see her last night and she said, just go and do it. She looked well, so different person today, John. I'll catch him up again, watch this. Yeah, Yorkshire power.
Well, Alistair Christie struggled a bit here, just won in 5.11 seconds. He was followed by Phil Porter. Not too easy for him either, 3 in 24.13. And Tim Thacker found the going tough, 3 in 23.31.
Well, Yorkshire Power is still in the lead. Malkay, 5 lifts. But this is Eddy Ellwood, and watch how quickly he goes through that first lift. 518 pounds, and he made it look very easy. And that is easy too for number 2. He really is a massive guy. He weighs well over 20 stone, but it is all solid muscle. So far, so good for Ellwood. He seems to be getting faster, in fact. I wonder if time is going to be a factor here. Malkay was 34.25, and Ellwood has certainly beaten that, so he goes into the lead. Barrel number 5, lift number 6, and he's got it. Whoa, Eddy Ellwood is absolutely flying here. Can he do the last one? This is a massive 705 pounds. Not on that occasion, and that is going to be very hard for Porteous to beat.
How close were you to getting that 6th one?
Just safe field, I think. It's heavy.
Is that how you would see it as a kind of a real strongman event?
Yes, yeah, it's a powerful event. It's just a bit unusual with the barrels dropping on the back of your neck and not knowing when you're going to be ready until. Very, very unusual.
Well, Eddy Ellwood and Paul Porteous here have both got 1 win apiece in this year's Britain's Strongest Man. So it's all to go for. And Porteous gets that one underway. That's just a warm-up, though. That was only 518 pounds. That really is a fantastic contraption that Jamie Reeves has invented, really. It's becoming very popular in Britain's Strongest Man as well. This one weighing at 606 pounds now. Malkay is the next target at 34.25 seconds. Which going to be close? Well, I'm not sure whether he's beaten Malkay's time. And now trying to chase Eddy Ellwood down. In fact, Ellwood's time has gone as well, and Paul Porteous is finished. The timekeepers will have to sort that one out. But it is very close indeed between Malkay and Paul Porteous for 2nd place.
You're 1 point off the lead after 3 events. How do you assess the group now?
Still wide open yet. Another 2 events to go, a lot can happen.
How do you feel about how you performed there?
Yeah, not too bad, but disappointed I didn't get all the barrels. But it's a new event, never done it before, so quite happy. Quite enjoyed that one as well.
Even when the barrels were hitting you on the back of the head almost?
It's not that bad actually. It looks a lot worse than it is. But I enjoyed it. It was good. Good fun.
Well, Eddy Ellwood with contempt almost for all those barrels. 6 repetitions, 38.36. He won that ahead of Malkay. But it does mean that I suppose if Ellwood and Porteous are out in front there, Porter, Thacker and Kay are still in with a shout.
Next, it's Scarborough's version of the TT races, totally tiring. They have to carry these 2 600cc bikes 20 metres down the seafront and the winds, and wait till you hear how heavy these things are. 395 kilograms. That's not far short of 900 pounds.
So it's Tim Thacker we're going to see first, and the order of the day.
Are you ready?
Well, you saw it on a capture before. Brute strength is what is required here. A very tentative lift by Thacker. Oh, he's down even before the starting line is breached. I just wonder if this is going to be stop-start all the way for Thacker. Training partner and friend of Malkay, and he's leading him overall by a single point at the moment. Thacker is in 4th place. Every time that bike goes down, it takes an immense effort to get it back up, to balance it and get underway again. And Thacker's over 5 metres, but he needs more. 395 kilos, that's better. That is better. Tim Thacker's in absolute agony here. You really do feel for him. Another couple of metres, good effort by Thacker, nearly at 10 metres. The time limit is 90 seconds. Don't walk away, says Mlan, cheering on his friend. I don't think Tim Thacker will thank him for that in the end, but I think he may have had enough. Oh, that's a great round of applause for Tim Thacker, 9.35 metres. But what has that taken out of him?
You're 23, so you're one of the youngest people in this event. I mean, do you feel you're still learning it?
Definitely. For me, this is like a learning curve. I mean, you know, I got through the qualifiers, got through the Englands, I did well at England, well at the qualifiers. And so I'm just happy to be here at the moment, and happy to be in the position that I'm in. I think I'm doing really well for me, so it's going well.
Do you think have you got one eye on getting to the final?
I've always got an eye on going to the finals, always, yeah. That's what I'm heading for. Always go for high.
So Paul Porteous knows exactly, right down to the single centimetre, what he's got to beat. 9.35 metres by Tim Thacker. And Paul Porteous says right, but I suspect that bar is very high on his neck. And certainly when we saw Tim Thacker, it was a lot lower on his shoulders. I can't believe it. The whole weight of those two motorbikes is going down through one or two vertebrae in his neck, and that is going to be hard. Normally when you see guys squatting in the gymnasium, the bar is much, much lower on the shoulders. So I think the balance here for Porteous is going to be so difficult. He's only done a couple of metres so far. The quiet man from Edinburgh is finding this one very tough indeed. There's only a single point separates him from Eddy Ellwood at the moment, after those first 3 events. And this is purgatory. He's changed his hand position now. Oh my goodness. And the tension out there is unbearable. I think some of the spectators are not quite sure whether to applaud or just to keep quiet at the moment. And Paul Porteous at the moment is going nowhere. I think that is the end for the Scotsman. The measurement, 2.7 metres only.
No surprise that this was a real struggle for most of them. 8.5 for Christie. Mlan, 7.55 metres. And a really desperate event for Phil Porter, 1.15 metres.
So now Eddy Ellwood from Blackhall in County Durham has got a real chance to stamp his authority on this competition. And already you can see where that bar is. It's much, much lower than Paul Porteous had it. And away we go. Rather like Bill Pittuck the week before, the last competitor is absolutely flying. This is the best performance we've seen in this event already. I spoke too soon. It's on the deck, but he's chasing the lead by Tim Thacker. He's still going to score good points. Over 10 metres, and he knows he's done enough. He doesn't need to do any more, and Eddy Ellwood has scored maximum points once again.
Energy conservation?
Yeah, totally. Just doing enough to get through the final, hopefully. Got the stones to go. We all know what I did last year, so I've got something to prove there.
What a performance, what a physique. Eddy Ellwood winning another event, 6 points for him. A great show there from Tim Thacker, though, and that means that though Ellwood has qualified for the final already, Thacker has got a real chance now of overtaking Paul Porteous.
This strongman thinks he's handsome, but he's not. He thinks he's got a full head of hair, but he hasn't. He likes to think he's got a 30-inch waist, but he hasn't. He likes to think he's a comedian, but he's not. This man thinks he's going to be Britain's strongest man, And he is.
A familiar friend to finish, but what a setting. Against a background of the North Sea, next stop Holland, the Atlas Stones. 5 giant boulders to be placed on this wall. They range from 110 to 165 kilograms. You could call them the Bulls of the Roses.
Before the real battle, Eddy Ellwood went first, an exhibition performance.
I'm going for it. Said I would be back last year and I've come back better than last year, so who knows.
So it's all come down to Tim Thacker's efforts against Paul Porteous to see who makes it through to the final with Eddy Ellwood. Porteous in the green. What a moment. Paul Porteous is going well. Thacker's got all sorts of problems. And Paul Porteous already on stone number 2. And there's Sharon, Paul Porteous's girlfriend, giving him a tremendous amount of support here. And if it stays like this, Porteous is on his way to the final. But Thacker is now speeding up. That is stone number 3, 120 kilos. Come on, shouts Sharon. And Thacker has dropped that one. This really spells problems for Tim Thacker. And Porteous, meanwhile, is going from strength to strength. I don't think that's fast enough to take the lead over in this last event from Mlan. But nevertheless, Porteous, I think, is on his way to the final. Now, could he do stone number 5? Nobody's managed it so far this year. Thacker gets number 4, but it's only a consolation. And Porteous knows he's done enough. Thacker still wants number 5, but it would be only a consolation lift. So Porteous has actually decided to go and have a go himself. A valiant effort from Tim Thacker, but it's not to be this year, and it's Paul Porteous who'll join Eddy Ellwood in the final. What a great effort from both men. Fantastic stuff.
Well, Mlan was out of contention before the Atlas Stones, but a consolation victory for him there ahead of Eddy Ellwood. Porteous and Thacker's great battle, with the Scot winning it, meant that he finished in 2nd place behind Ellwood, and those two go through to the final.
A dream come true. And it's my birthday, so best birthday present I could ever ask for.
4 men through now to the final of the Citroën Vans Trophy: Ellwood and Porteous, Pittuck and Broomfield.
You know, you look just like Eddy Ellwood.
All right, John. Why don't you take a seat?
Yeah, I'd love to, mate. No more teddy bears. Bring on the grizzly bears. The big country, and Britain's biggest and strongest men have come this year to North Yorkshire, a county of spectacular bays and beaches and magnificent moorland. In fact, the North York Moors are celebrating their Golden Jubilee this year. But it's over there, at Britain's oldest seaside resort, Scarborough, that the Citroën Vans Trophy will be won. There are 6 men in each heat, and the top 2 will go through to the final.
carry these two giant anvils to the end of the course. They weigh 120 kilograms each. I think I'll leave them here. Run back and then flip this giant tyre to the end of the course. It weighs 400 kilograms. That's 5 of me or 4 fridge freezers. And commentating, a man who weighs 2 fridge freezers, Paul Dickinson.
We've got England, Ireland and first of all Wales in this competition. Adrian Davies from Neath in West Glamorgan. Next to him, the very big Simon Flint from Ilkeston in Derbyshire. He finished 3rd in his heat last year. 21.5-inch biceps. He really is a big man. And finally, Francis Kirby from Ballymoney in County Antrim. He's Ulster's strongest man. The referee, as always, Dr. Douglas Edmunds, gets them underway. And these giant anvils, 120 kilos each, 265 pounds, and already Francis Kirby is away and running. That is a fabulous start for him. Adrian Davies currently in 2nd place, and Simon Flint is very close in 3rd. A very promising start, though, by Francis Kirby. And remember, the clock is important as well. When that tyre is eventually flipped over the line, the clock will stop, and that is what the next 3 have to go for. And the other 2, Flint and Davies, well, they've come to a grinding halt, but it's still Francis Kirby going well. One more flip of the tyre should do it. 400 kilos. This is one of the biggest tyres we've ever had in strongman competition. Adrian Davies struggling. He's lying in 3rd place. Simon Flint in 2nd, but there's our winner of race number 1, Francis Kirby. What a good job. He almost looks surprised, especially as the other 2 are so far behind. It's neck and neck between Flint and Davies on the far side. I have to say at the moment Simon Flint is probably inches ahead, but the tape measure will have to come out, but no doubt about who won that. Francis Kirby was miles ahead. What a good start for him in this year's competition.
How hard was the tyre?
Heavy, very heavy. Couldn't believe the weight on it. For light. The tyre's very heavy.
It's a pretty good start though, isn't it?
It was. Very good start. Better than I thought. Tyre's my worst event, but I just seemed to get a good start at it.
Here is our next lineup. Adrian Rollinson on the far side wearing yellow. The heaviest man in this heat. He weighs in at a massive 25 stone. And there is the referee, Douglas Edmunds, in front of him, his son, Gregor. But believe me, there'll be no favouritism here. Gregor, a finalist in last year's World's Strongest Man. And finally, Darren Sadler from Boroughbridge in Yorkshire. The Pocket Rocket.
Get ready!
So the time to beat, 57.71 by Francis Kirby, and Gregor Edmunds already running. Adrian Rollinson not far behind. A massive difference in their weight. There's about 5 stone difference. Gregor Edmunds, a Highland Games champion. He wants to play rugby next year. And in fact, this could well be his last strongman competition ever. And he wants to go out with a bang. He's leading at the moment. Rollinson in 2nd place, but being caught by Darren Sadler. A great performance by Sadler. He's by far and away the smallest man in this heat. And Gregor Edmunds almost kicking that one over. This is good by Gregor Edmunds. If he can flip it over the line, he's going to win it, and he does. And that is a cracking time, 46.67. Rollinson in 2nd place, 52.81. Sadler 3rd, 54.65. They are our top 3 in this first event. But really, there was only one winner.
Oh, and what lessons have you learnt from being in World's Strongest Man last year?
Well, when I first came to British last year, I was nervous and excited and raring to go. But I found out if you relax a bit and take it in your stride, you don't make so many mistakes. And that's ultimately what costs you titles and things.
Gregor Edmunds hugely impressive there, winning the carry and flip and taking the 6 points ahead of Adrian Rollinson and Yorkshire's own Darren Sadler in third.
This strongman is 23 years old, he's 18 stone, he's my fiancé and I've known him for 3 years. He's pretty laid back at home and he does work out about 6 times a week. We do love coming through to Scarborough, but I end up walking the dog whereas he ends up in the sweet shop.
Now this is what you call a classic lifeboat. In its pomp 50 years ago, saving lives off the North Devon coast, and now preserved by the Scarborough Marine Heritage Society. The RNLI has a key role to play all along this coastline, and it does in this next event.
You have to pull a 250 kilogram anchor and chain up this ramp, using an arm-over-arm technique on the rope. Grip strength is essential, and I'm tipping Gregor Edmunds to do well at this event.
So Darren Sadler, the man who likes a bit of rock, on the far side wearing the grey shirt. And nearest the camera, Francis Kirby. It'll be interesting to see if either of these two can get that giant anchor and chain all the way up the course. Good start by both of them. Tremendous effort used by the legs as well as the arms and back. It's neck and neck at the moment. I suspect Darren Sadler is just ahead of Francis Kirby. Look at this. He only weighs in at about 17 stone. He's got a lot of aerobic capacity. That means he's using his heart and lungs well and still going strong. Francis Kirby lagging behind now. And this really is a good start by Darren Sadler. Well, you might think the obvious thing to do is to stand up and use your body weight to fall back, but they're not allowed to do that. They must stay glued to the ground if possible and use the legs as Darren Sadler does get closer to the finish. 5 seconds to go. The whistle will be blown now by Douglas Edmunds, and the measurements will be taken. Darren Sadler 8 pointers, Francis Kirby 6.
Hard work, very hard work.
Talk us through it from the bottom to the top.
Just hurts your hands a lot because the rope's thick. Obviously I haven't got as much body weight as some of the guys, so it's a bit tougher that way. But just grit really, just getting on with it and try to get to the final this year really.
Well, it was tough going for Adrian Davis. He managed just 3.70 metres. And Simon Flint found the going tough as well. His distance, 5.5.
So our final pair, Gregor Edmunds nearest the camera and big Adrian Rollinson. I just wonder, body weight could have an impact on this event. So could Adrian Rollinson go well? They're both underway. Gregor Edmunds absolutely steaming up that slipway. This is a massive effort. Remember, he was Jamie Reeve's favourite before the event started. And the whole of that chain, the first link, must pass the finish line. Gregor Edmunds, he's going to be in the lead after this event. Surely one more pull should do it. And he's got it. That is a superb time, 21.01. Oh, my goodness. Adrian Rollinson, he is heading towards the finish. He'll get good points here. But so far behind Gregor Edmunds, that surely is enough. Yes, it is. Adrian Rollinson finishes in second place, but Gregor Edmunds, 2 out of 2.
Given the fact that everybody else had so much trouble, that must be showing what a gulf there is between you and the other guys at the moment.
It's just the way it is, John. Horses for courses. I'm sure the other guys have got good events to come, but we'll see what they can do.
But when you'd seen the other guys going before you have such trouble, were there any doubts in your mind or not?
Well, this is an event I've done. This is my 4th time doing it in competition, but I've only been beat once, so it should be okay for me.
I knew I'd pull it like, you know, but nice and steady, second place, happy with that.
What do you make of Gregor?
He's good, but yeah, unbeatable.
And so the only 2 men to complete the course pick up the major points after the arm-over-arm event. and they were in the top 2 positions after the first event, and their preeminence continues. Edmunds 12, Rollinson 10, a bit of a gulf to the rest at the moment.
Our next event is about as close as strongman sport gets to pure weightlifting, the deadlift hold. 6 barrels in this crate to be picked up. They weigh 250 kilograms, and then with every successful lift, another barrel falls into the crate. So it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. It all starts off fairly mild and gets increasingly bitter.
Take your grip.
Simon Flint, our first competitor. I'm not sure that John really meant mild. This is still very heavy, 551 pounds before the first barrel is added. And there is a clock on this, so if there is a draw, the fastest will win. And Simon Flint looking very comfortable. He was into BMX cycle riding when he was a lot younger, and you can't get 2 different events, BMX and deadlifting. 4 barrels added. That's a massive 661 pounds. Starts off very low down by his ankles. You've got to have an immensely strong back, and he just gets it, does he? Oh, he's bleeding. And that really is because of a massive increase in blood pressure during this event. It's not dangerous, these guys are attuned to it, but I think he's had enough. Well, having said that, he's getting chalked up again. So 5 barrels, 6 lifts completed. Can he do 1 more? Oh, no, he's had enough. It'll be back to the drawing board for Simon Flint, but that was still an immense effort, and he goes into the lead.
It's quite strange. Your muscles are used to lifting the weight before, not the one after, so it's a bit of a grind.
When it came to the 5th one, how confident were you going to get it?
I just kept going until I couldn't get no more, really. So, very hard.
Was the 6th one impossible?
After doing the ones before, yeah. If you went up to it fresh, you'd get it straight away. But with an incline up to it, very hard. Be a good man that gets it.
I wonder if Francis Kirby is that good man.
Lift.
Away we go. And the first one really is just treated as a warm-up before the first barrel is added. 260 kilos. The next one, 275.
Lift.
Looking good. So Francis Kirby from County Antrim is going well. And I think he's a shade faster than Simon Flint was. 1 more barrel required to draw level with Flint, but what about the clock? Flint's best time, 42.01. And Francis Kirby's got it. He is faster, so it doesn't matter. If he can't lift this, he'll still go into the lead. So for the time being, Kirby is number 1.
Whenever you're training in the gym deadlifting, you're resting a couple of minutes at a time. Out there, you're going straight one after another. It's very hard.
Well, Adrian Davis found it pretty hard. 4 lifts in 29.83. He was followed by Darren Sadler, not the biggest of men, 4 in 27.18. And then Adrian Rollinson, a bit tough for him, 4 in 23.45.
Well, if there is a weakness in Gregor Edmunds' armoury, it is this event. He's so tall, he's well over 6'5". Long levers don't necessarily mean strength when you're lifting things from the floor. A bit of confusion there. He wasn't sure whether he'd been told to go again or not. That's okay. 2 lifts so far for Gregor. It's interesting looking down at the scoreboard and wondering whether he can stay in the lead after this event. He's not confident on this event at all. There's still a couple of good events to go for Gregor and the rest. Oh, he's gone. That is the end. He's going to finish in last place. Only 3 lifts in total for Gregor. That is an event he's going to have to work on in the future.
Well, a real role reversal there. Kirby 6, Flint 5, and Gregor Edmunds just a single point down at the bottom. So the whole scoreboard turned topsy-turvy there, and there's now just 3 points separating the top 4. Adrian Rollinson on top.
It's from Ballymoney. He's 30 years old, and he's a steel worker. Well, I've known him for about 10 years. I met him in the first ever strongman I done, which was in Ballymena about 10 years ago. He doesn't gamble, he just goes out for a meal with his girlfriend and likes sitting in with her and going to pictures, stuff like that. Well, he's saving up for a house, him and his girlfriend, to buy a house, so he'll be saving his money.
We're going where the sun shines brightly. We're going where the sea is blue. But this next event will be no summer holiday.
At one time or another, we've all had to run for a bus. Imagine running after that bus for 45 seconds. Right, now imagine pulling it.
Representing England, Darren Sadler first up. He's got a distinct disadvantage here. He's very low in body weight, only weighs about 17 stone. I know that is quite heavy for mere mortals, but for strong men it is light. That could be a disadvantage. Now he's got to stay low to the ground. Yeah. Away we go. And the time will tick away until the front of that bus, that 10-ton automobile, gets over the finish line. The arm's important, and Darren is going well, my goodness. This is a big surprise. He's getting tremendous support from the crowd. There's people on that bus, there's got to be 15 people on the top deck. That adds to the weight considerably, and Darren Sadler is going well. He will cross the line, but the clock will not stop until the bus does. He slipped there. He's all over the place. That is it, 41.01. What a brilliant effort from Darren Sadler. That is Yorkshire grit and determination at its best.
That's given the rest something to aim at, hasn't it?
Yeah, felt quite light, but I dropped the row, which is a fast pull, really. I need to be fast.
How key is it to keep low to the ground?
Just need to use your body weight, especially when you haven't got much. You've got to, take full advantage of it, so... Yeah, but I'm fairly happy with that, but see what happens next, really.
Because this group is very tight, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So every point counts, so... see how it goes.
We certainly will. Next up, Francis Kirby. He's 10 kilograms heavier than Darren Sadler. One foot in front of the other to start. And I've got a feeling that Francis Kirby is wearing mountaineering boots. And we've seen in the past how they can help get grip on any surface. And it's certainly working for Kirby. He's going well. There we are. He's well over halfway down the course, chasing down Darren Sadler's time of 41.01. Now beginning to tire, though. He went off like a train to start with, but fatigue is now setting in. Lactic acid in the legs, the back and the arms. Oh, it's so close. 41.13. That is just over a tenth of a second outside Darren Sadler's time. He's in second place.
Just a tenth of a second, isn't it?
Who to?
To him.
Oh well. Tried my best. I was easy enough getting it started. Just getting near the end. It was impossible.
Adrian Davis must have felt as though the handbrake was on. 52.69 seconds for him. And then Simon Flint, even slower, 53.74.
Well, Gregor Edmunds' chance towards the final. It was certainly halted in the last event, but he did win the first two, one after the other. He's got knee braces on, he's got weightlifting boots on. Away Gregor Edmunds goes, still chasing that time, 41.01. And Darren Sadler is the man that everybody's trying to beat now, but Gregor Edmunds is charging. This is fantastic. Gregor Edmunds is chasing down the time by Darren Sadler. Head down, knees pumping. And this is brilliant by Gregor Edmunds. Over 30 seconds now, but so close to the finish. And he's destroyed Darren Sadler's time. That was 34.74. Absolutely superb. Well, Gregor Edmunds is back on song and chasing victory number 3.
Seriously, that's put you in really strong position now, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, that's where I want to be. I didn't come here to get beat, did I?
But
Come here to prove a point, eh?
But this group is very tight between 4 of you, isn't it?
Not anymore, it's not.
Adrian Rollinson might have something to say about that. He looks determined, doesn't he? The gentle giant from Dudley in the West Midlands.
Are you ready? Tell me.
He's ready. Away we go. Oh, a little stumble there. But that massive 25-stone frame gets the bus moving. And let's just remind ourselves, it's over 10 tons. And Adrian Rollinson is moving well. I know in his training, he's been doing a lot of aerobic work, a lot of swimming, a bit of running as well. And that's where that sort of training is going to come into its own. Halfway down the course, the legs are burning, the arms are burning. Adrian Rollinson is still going well. 34.74 to beat. He's not going to do it. Rollinson will finish in second place. 37.5. Big points once again for Rollinson. Gregor Edmunds wins it by a mile. And those two are locked together, head to head, at the top of the leaderboard.
So how do you assess the group now?
Had a bad start there. It should be all right, I think. Good balls out, as I say, on the board. Hopefully I should come good. Keep fingers crossed.
Normal service resumed there. Edmunds and Rollinson coming in the first 2 positions. Sadler and Kirby separated by just 1/10 of a second in 3rd and 4th spot. But it does mean that Edmunds and Rollinson have a 4-point cushion going into the very last event. This heat's been no lottery, but it's come down to the final event, and you know as well as I do, that probably means the very heaviest of all the Atlas stones, 165 kilograms. This truly is a thunderball.
The last race for Francis Kirby, as it is for Darren Sadler next to him. And Gregor Edmunds and Adrian Rollinson, well, those two guys are renowned stone lifters. And so something would have to go wrong, something desperate would have to go wrong to prevent either of them from making it through to the final. So I guess you've got to say that these two guys have got to get all 5 to be very, very fast. Away we go. Sadler electing not to wear a T-shirt. He's got sticky stuff all over his chest, though, and that is a great effort, 100 kilos. They're locked together, head to head. There is Darren Sadler's family urging him on. And the young man, the lighter man, is going well. Francis Kirby going well too. Stone number 3, 120 kilos. What a fantastic atmosphere here for this last race. And Francis Kirby with those rubber arm protectors, trying to give himself a bit of extra grip. He's bleeding from the nose. In any case, Darren Sadler has gone in the lead. Great support. 1 big stone to go. Francis Kirby gets number 4 up. Now, can anybody do this stone? 165 kilos. I tell you what, Darren Sadler has improved since last year. Now, come on, son, get it up. Oh, so close. They've got to get number 5 if they've got any chance of making it through to the final. Edmunds and Rollinson are waiting in the wings. It's an immense effort by both men. Oh, it's all over. And those two deserve all the applause the crowd has got. That was absolutely superb. Adrian Rollinson and Gregor Edmunds, one of the best stone lifters in the business is Edmunds. He has lost a bit of weight since last year, but he looks leaner and fitter. Rollinson just looks massive. The resin on the forearms to make the lifting a little easier. And Rollinson looks so focused. Away we go. 100 kilos the target. Oh, flipped up like a featherweight. And both men are flying. Almost certain of places in the final, but as we know, anything can happen in strongman. Edmunds in the lead. Number 3, 120 kilos, 17 stone. Rollinson's got it as well. Oh, this is brilliant from Gregor Edmunds. Going for number 5. 165 kilos. And, oh, it's so close. And he's got it. Gregor Edmunds, 33.73, flies into the final. Rollinson, is he going to get it? Edmunds saying, come on, son, you can do it. That was brilliant. What a finish to this heat. Oh, a 25-stone man doing the splits. I've seen it all now. And they're both through to the final.
Come here to do a good job, so I want to give you guys good telly. They say they don't make us big enough in Scotland. That's not true, is it?
First and second. Well, it went down more or less where I thought, like, you know. He's took the title off me now, as a style monster. He's beat me. Well done, Greg.
Two big, happy men. Gregor Edmunds, hugely impressive there, 33.73. What a time. And he and Adrian Rollinson will go through to the final. Darren Sadler, the Yorkshireman, finding that a good big un will always beat a good little un. And that means we now know 6 men in the final of the Citroen Vans Trophy. Edmunds and Rollinson joining Pittuck, Broomfield, Ellwood and Porteous.
Hello, Aid. Well done, mate, in the final. You can get some really useful stuff at these results, can't you?
Yeah, great. Do you want some gum, Jim?
Oh, I'd love some. Thanks an awful lot.
Oh!
From wall pack to 6-pack. Scarborough's famous for its spa, its fair, its beach. And where there's a beach, you find these fellas. In fact, Scarborough Beach was the first to allow donkey rides 100 years ago. Now, our producer reckoned that one of the events this year ought to be donkey carrying, but we told him he ought to know better. So, no donkey carrying for these 6 guys in their bid to get to the final of the Citroen Van Trophy for Britain's Strongest Man. ...200 kilograms, and that's just for starters. Down in the car park, we begin with the carry and drag. Carry this giant weight between your legs halfway down the course. It's the same as an adult boar. I know what you're thinking. And from a pig to a cow, that's how much this giant anchor weighs, and it has to be dragged all the way to the end of the course.
And here's a man who knows an awful lot about adult boars, Paul Dickinson.
Dean Bolt, the former Welsh junior discus champion, didn't do too well in his first year last year, but he's been training very hard for this competition. Andrew Rains, only 5'6" tall, but 20 stones of solid muscle, known as Stumpy to his friends. And finally, Raymond O'Dwyer from County Waterford, the former bodybuilder and powerlifter.
Take your grip.
200 kilos, away we go. And Dean Bolt already going well. Look at this though, it's neck and neck. And Stumpy's going well too. Dean Bolt just in the lead. Raymond O'Dwyer a shade behind the rest. And Dean Bolt is getting away to a flying start. Andrew Rains is catching him. Who's going to get it first? Oh, it's so close. Sort that one out. Dean Bolt thought he hadn't finished, but he had. That'll be for the timekeepers to sort out. And Ray O'Dwyer finishes in third place. That is for sure.
So, who won?
Who knows? You know.
I don't know.
I thought he went down before the line.
Were you looking at him?
Looking at the sky.
Are we looking at him?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I think he's won it. I don't know. I'm got the foggiest.
From Woolpack to Six-Pack. Scarborough's famous for its spa, its fair, its beach. And where there's a beach, you find these fellas. In fact, Scarborough Beach was the first to allow donkey rides nearly 200 years ago. Now, our producer reckoned that one of the events this year ought to be donkey carrying, but we told him he ought to know better. So, no donkey carrying for these six guys in their bid to get to the final of the Citroen Van Trophy for Britain's Strongest Man. ...200 kilograms, and that's just for starters. Down in the car park, we begin with the carry and drag. Carry this giant weight between your legs halfway down the course. It's the same as an adult boar. I know what you're thinking. And from a pig to a cow. That's how much this giant anchor weighs, and it has to be dragged all the way to the end of the course. And here's a man who knows an awful lot about adult boars, Paul Dickinson.
Dean Bolt, the former Welsh junior discus champion, didn't do too well in his first year last year, but he's been training very hard for this competition. Andrew Rains, only 5'6" tall, but 20 stones of solid muscle, known as Stumpy to his friends. And finally, Raymond O'Dwyer from County Waterford, the former bodybuilder and powerlifter.
Take your grip.
200 kilos, away we go. And Dean Bolt already going well. Look at this though, it's neck and neck. And Stumpy's going well too. Dean Bolt just in the lead. Raymond O'Dwyer a shade behind the rest. And Dean Bolt is getting away to a flying start. Andrew Rains is catching him. Who's going to get it first? Oh, it's so close. Sort that one out. Dean Bolt thought he hadn't finished, but he had. That'll be for the timekeepers to sort out. And Ray O'Dwyer finishes in third place. That is for sure.
So, who won?
Who knows?
You know. I don't know.
I thought he went down before the line.
Were you looking at him?
Looking at the sky.
Are we looking at him?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I think he's won it. I don't know. I've got a foggiest.
Good race there, eh?
Enjoyed
Close,
that.
pretty close.
It was a tremendous race, and Andrew Rains absolutely right. Dean Bolt won that race by 9/100ths of a second. So our next three. First of all, Raymond Christie from Perthshire in Scotland, whose brother Alistair was in Heat 2. And next to him, Richard Gosling, whose brother Mick appeared in programme number 1. And this guy is a former winner of the United Kingdom's Strongest Man competition. And finally, Adam Townsend, training partner of Bill Pittuck. His motto, being a strongman, is a way of life. What a time to beat, 20.12. And Dean Bolt, the Welshman, is in the lead, but for how long? A couple of slips there by Gosling and by Townsend. And the guy on the far side, Raymond Christie, flying. Gosling is catching but falls over, so Townsend picks up. Gosling is coming back. Raymond Christie going well, but he's over now. Oh, fantastic stuff. Richard Gosling wins it, 21.13, but that means that Dean Bolt is the overall winner. What a finish.
You're third after that first event, third quick race.
That's not that bad, not that bad, because I was not looking forward to that one at all. Watching people falling over and everything before me. So, we're third, it's first event. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get a lot better. First year in it, so yeah, some good guys this year.
Bolt by name and Bolt by nature, the man from Cardiff winning the carry and drag ahead of Andrew Rains. But look out for Richard Gosling, he could be a dark horse here. And next it's Hercules, the ultimate symbol of strength and power. And those are his pillars.
This event is all about grip. You just have to hold it and hold it till you just can't hold it anymore.
Adam Townsend from Moulton in Northamptonshire. Now this guy's got to be described as being a little bit unlucky in the past. He's finished third on 2 occasions in the heat, so he's never been through to Britain's Strongest Men final before.
Are you ready?
160 kilos, each of those pillars weighs. Tremendous definition of the deltoid, that's the shoulder muscle. But the agonizing pull of those pillars on the arms and the hands and the forearms. He's absolutely grimacing, but this is not a bad effort so far. 25 seconds gone. He's got to block out the pain. It's going a bit. It's gone. 33.18 for Adam Townsend. That is the lead at the moment. But there's still some very good guys to come.
Thoughts on that?
Well, what would have rounded have been at a minute and sort of wiggling me about, so I lost a bit of grip, but it's all right. Do my best, that's all you can do.
It was a real test for Ray O'Dwyer, though. He held the pillars for just 20.33. After him, Raymond Christie, 31.69. And then it was the turn of Andrew Rains, perhaps surprisingly, just 27.26.
Richard Gosling next. And still that lead of Adam Townsend standing at 33.18.
Are you ready?
Away we go. Well, it was his brother Mick who made a real impression on Strongman last year. He made it through to the final, but not this time. So it's up to Richard to uphold the family tradition and get himself through to the final at his very first attempt. 15 seconds gone and looking solid. He's got massive forearms and hands. And as you heard Jamie Reeves say, the grip is so important. 33.18 the target, and he's close, very close. And Gosling's in the lead. This is a fine effort. So Richard Gosling just blowing a bit at the moment. How much longer can he go on for? 41.47. That is fantastic. And it looks as though he's going to score big, big points here.
I mean, when you let it go, what was it that said no more?
Without, it's not the grip, it's like the skin on your hands. When it starts to hurt, pull the skin off your hands, it's time to, like, you've got to get through that. But when it starts to hurt too much, it's a brain saying, let go. Yeah.
So it's Dean Bolt, last competitor. We saw Gregor Edmunds in the last programme go 2 out of 2 in the very first 2 events. Can Dean Bolt do the same? Away we go. Always wears that headband. It's the Welsh flag wrapped around his head. Richard Gosling in the lead, 41.47. Well, he certainly has improved since last year. It's obvious he's been training very, very hard. Look at the size of his arms. 25 seconds. Dean Bolt is going well. Stare straight ahead.
Come on, Dean.
Blocking out the pain. Heading towards 40 seconds. 41.47 has been and gone. Dean Bolt has won it. He's gone 45.24. He has got 2 out of 2, and he's matched what Gregor Edmunds did in the last programme. Terrific effort from Dean Bolt.
1993 was the last...
Gary Taylor, yeah.
Last Welshman to get to the final. So how do you think your prospects are now after those first 2 events?
I'll let you know at the end of the week.
I was very disappointed. I thought you were going to start singing Land of My Fathers while you were holding the... Was there any chance of that?
Too much pain in my hands now.
Well, that Welsh bandana, obviously a good luck charm for Dean Bolt. 2 events gone, 2 victories for him, but that disappointing performance from Andrew Rains means that he's now been usurped in second place by Richard Gosling. Bolt out on his own.
This strong man is from Wales and he's 26 years old. He's a shy man, not very talkative unless he's with his close friends. He's good with numbers and he's about to start an accountancy course at college. This man is very enthusiastic about wrestling and loves going to wrestling school. When it comes to eating, he only loves junk food. Fruit and vegetables, no chance.
Six beer barrels in a crate. 6 beer barrels in a magazine. With every successful lift, another barrel falls. And they just keep coming.
Andrew Rains currently in 3rd place. Let's not forget, he is a former finalist in World's Strongest Man. Just wearing those slippers. And that provides the lifter with a better position, and that was so quick. So 1 barrel is added for lift number 2. And Stumpy is going well. He is a former European powerlifting champion, and the deadlift exercise is part of a powerlifter's armory. This looks superb. On the previous occasion we saw deadlift, nobody has lifted all the barrels. I wonder if Andrew Rains can. It's so steady. And going so easily as well. Andrew Rains gets a bit more chalk on his hands. He's well within the time limit. And here he goes. 1 last lift for victory, surely. And he gets it. That is absolutely superb. He lifted the lot in 56.29. Surely this time it's big points for Stumpy. Superb lifting.
Because of my build, something's either good for me or not, and that's good for me.
Did you have any doubt at all you could get all 6 out?
I've seen people struggling. There's always a little bit of doubt, but you've got to have confidence as well, ain't you? So it's all good.
Feeling good now?
I've still quite a long way to go. Dean Bolt has been a real dark horse, winning first 2 events. So there's a lot of points I need to make up. So I've got to get through to the final. I always get through to the final.
Well, Ray O'Dwyer's going to struggle to make it through to the final. 2 lifts in 13.17. A bit better than him was Raymond Christie, 3 in 20.39. And then Adam Townsend managed 4 in a time of 26.59 seconds.
Well, we'll see Dean Bolt in just a little while. First of all, it's Richard Gosling. A total unknown quantity when it comes to deadlift. He's wearing no shoes at all. Well, that was easy, 551 pounds. That was easy too. Andrew Rains looking on, very interested in the form of Richard Gosling. He's lying in 2nd place at the moment, the man from Staffordshire. That was a bit harder. You'd expect that, though, with over 600 pounds in that frame. Now, can he do it this time? It's hard, he's rocking, and he's got it. It just takes a slight pause to get a bit more chalk on the hands. He's still a long way behind Andrew Rains, though. So this is for barrel number 5 and lift number 6. He's got an alternate grip there. Good position. Now the lift. Gets it above the knees. He's trying to lock out, but he can't quite do it. Oh, that is still a very good effort from Richard Gosling. 300 kilograms lifted, 37.67. He's in 2nd place.
How much pain were you in for that last one?
It's easy to describe, lots of it. At the end of the day, the first couple of lifts are quite easy. And then, like, all you can hear is bang, bang behind you. At least with weights, you know how much you're picking up. All you can hear is, like, lift. Then you suddenly get to a position where you think, somebody's nailed it to the floor. I tried my hardest. The one wasn't too bad. Wasn't the worst yet.
So Dean Bolt, he's been unstoppable in the last 2 events and gets underway with a very simple lift at 550 pounds. There's barrel number 1, looking good. Now time is going to be important here as well. Andrew Rains, 7 lifts altogether, 56.29. Next is Richard Gosling, 5 lifts in 37.67. Well, here we go with lift number 5. If he can get this one quickly, he could go into 2nd place. It's going to be very, very close. Oh, he might have got it. We'll have to wait and see. There's the next barrel going in. That really is a timekeeper's nightmare. There's just going to be a whisker in it between Dean Bolt and Richard Gosling. And now trying, perhaps, to catch Andrew Rains. 56.29 for all of them, Andrew Rains did. But Dean Bolt has had enough. The former discus thrower is going well.
How was that for you?
Wasn't as bad as it looks. The worst thing is stopping. I think you better just keep going and going. As soon as you stop, you lose your concentration, and so just glad to get over and done with.
I saw you look behind when there were 2 to go, and you looked at the 2 barrels. What were you thinking then?
Well, I wasn't worried about the time. I was trying to work out what the others had lifted. As long as I could keep up with them, I'd have been happy with the points then.
So you're clear, 4 points clear with 2 events to go. Are you almost there?
I don't know. Well, I still can't believe I'm in this position now, so it's a big shock to me.
Well, the Welsh momentum keeping going there. Dean Bolt in 2nd place, but that was an impressive performance from Andrew Rains, and that puts him right back in contention. Even though the man from Cardiff has a 4-point lead, Rains and Gosling head-to-head, 13 apiece.
Scarborough seafront was the scene of many a mods and rockers confrontation in the 60s and of scooter rallies into the 80s. And the motorcycle legend lives on in this year's Britain's Strongest Man.
This next event is the York Race. These motorcycles together weigh 400 kilograms. That's the type of weights we use at the World's Strongest Man. You need tremendous hips and back strength to even pick this up. To walk with it for 20 metres, well, it's going to sort the men out from the boys.
This really was monumentally tough. Ray O'Dwyer managed 2.25 metres. Raymond Christie, 7.85. That might not be too bad at the end. And Adam Townsend managed to carry the bikes just 3.2 metres.
Richard Gosling next to go. Just to give you an idea as to how hard this is, the longest distance we've seen in the last two programmes, 11.75 metres. Richard Gosling wobbling all over the place. He's got that bar quite high on his neck, and we've seen that in the past as well, without too much success, but not going badly now. Past 5 metres. That's his partner, Kate, urging the big man on. And remember, this man has won national strongman competitions in the past, but never Britain's Strongest Man. Richard Gosling. This really has been a baptism of fire in his first ever appearance in Britain's Strongest Man, and now going up to Porteous. I talk about being psyched up for this. Kate urging him on. He's gone into the lead, past Raymond Christie, 7.85 metres. One other disadvantage this guy has got is he's so tall as well. I think he might have had enough. He's over 12 metres so far, and that is good. And I was wrong. He's going to have another go. No, he's not. The time is gone. 12.15 metres. The longest we've seen so far in this year's competition.
The weight's not that bad, it's just picking it up. You've got to steady yourself. Actually holding it there to steady it before you can walk. Then it's trying to bear down on you. But as you're pushing up, you're standing there, sort of compressing yourself. At the end of the day, I just had to go as far as I could. Because, you know, I'm lying second, joint second, so hopefully that'll be enough.
Richard Gosling certainly got a finger on the pulse. He's lying in joint second place with this man, Andrew Rains from Barnsley. And this guy has always got tremendous support wherever he goes. He's been a champion in bodybuilding, in powerlifting, and he wants to become a strongman champion as well. He's up to 5 metres and going well. This is so tense out here on the seafront in Scarborough. Oh! Well, something went there. Andrew Rains may well have a problem with his back. Well, somebody just shouted out, you're halfway there. It's not enough. Richard Gosling is in the lead at 12.15 metres.
It's going to be back.
And he says it's something has gone wrong with his back. Stumpy's got real serious problems here. The medical team are out. He's being carried away. That is desperately bad luck for Andrew Rains.
Just tell us what happened, Stumpy.
I picked it up and I was going well with it. It felt all right. And then I just felt a crunch in my spine. So I put it down, I dropped it, and then I picked it back up again, and I felt another one, and it just felt as though it were crunching all the way down my vertebrae.
Well, all Dean Bolt needs here is one more good performance, and he could just about book his place in the final. Oh, not a good start for the Welshman. Those two massive bikes. 400 kilograms is a huge amount of weight. It's nearly 900 pounds. And this is not a good start for Dean Bolt. He's only about a metre over the line. That is a bit more steady. He's still only between 0 and 5 metres, though. And struggles on another couple of metres. It almost fell off the back of his neck there. Gosling in the lead, 12.15. Christie, 7.85. And then Andrew Rains at 5.6. But we saw what happened to the Yorkshireman. Now, Dean Bolt has improved by leaps and bounds since last year. But this is slow and steady progress. Douglas Edmunds just shouting out the time to Dean Bolt. This is a massive effort. He's over 5 metres now, but only just. 10 seconds to go. An extra couple of inches. Whoa, almost went over the top there. A couple of seconds to go, that is it. And Dean Bolt is on 6 metres. He finishes in 3rd place. Yet another good performance for Dean Bolt.
So the first Welshman through to the final of Britain's Strongest Man for a decade. Well done.
Oh, thank you.
How's it feel?
Oh, they told me, it's a big shock, big shock. Only one that I came here just really. Last year I had a bad year, and this year I was just thinking have a good practice, get used to competing with the other lads, and then go for it next year. So I'm surprised myself, I must admit.
Bolt in 3rd place there. A good performance from Raymond Christie, 7.85, giving him 5 points. But another hugely impressive showing from Richard Gosling, which means that he's now just 2 points behind Bolt at the top and has a 3-point cushion ahead of Rains, who may be injured.
Clue 1. These two strongmen are brothers. Clue 2. One of these is extremely tight-fisted and the other one just won't stop eating. Clue 3. One of them's probably got the skinniest calves in strongman, the other one's probably got the biggest hands. Clue 4. One's reliable, one isn't. Clue 5. One of them's a boat builder, the other one drives a van and delivers plumbing and heating goods. Clue 6. Well, I've got a nickname for him, but I can't possibly mention it on TV.
The Wall of the Roses. As ever, we finish with the Atlas Stones. 5 monumental boulders, but seasoned viewers know it's this huge chap weighing in at 165 kilograms that sorts the strong men from the boys. The physios did a fantastic job on Andrew Rains' back, and here he was in the Atlas Stones, raring to go, until the first ball on the wall went walkabout or rollabout, and that basically was the end of his competition.
Dean Bolt, what a great couple of days he's had, trying to follow in the footsteps of former world's strongest man, Welshman Gary Taylor. And Richard Gosling trying to do precisely what his brother did last year, make it through to the final at his very first attempt. The leader at the moment, Adam Townsend, 4 stones in 43.05. That first one, it's amazing how quickly they get it up there. Gosling off to a flyer. Dean Bolt, he's a little bit behind already. Gosling already gets 2 up. Dean Bolt, what strides he's made since last year, but struggling with the Atlas Stones. Gosling is on number 4. 310 pounds, and Gosling makes it look easy. Come on, he says. And that's exactly what his partner Kate is telling him to do. Surely he can't get number 5. Gosling, after a nervous start, has come through so strongly. And Kate just looks away. She can't bear to watch. But Richard Gosling and Dean Bolt are on their way to the final, and this now is all about pride. And Dean Bolt with that right arm heavily strapped. Richard Gosling is finished. He knows he's done enough. And Kate and Mick Gosling will be delighted.
I just wanted to make the final. Had a few events that didn't go my way. But I'm quite good at the stones. Pity I didn't do the 5th one. But I seemed to get it a bit wrong, so got 4 up in nice time, I think.
Well, Richard Gosling had shown in that very first event that he had promise. and he confirmed it there with victory in the Atlas Stones ahead of Adam Townsend. And Gosling wins the heat ahead of Dean Bolt. Huge disappointment for Andrew Rains, though, who must have expected to make it through to the final once again. But Pittuck, Broomfield, Ellwood, Porteous, Edmunds, Rollinson, and now Gosling and Bolt are in the final of the Citroën Vans Trophy.
Hello, Dean. Fantastic. First Welshman in the final for, what, a decade or so. Well done, mate. Don't you just love Scarborough?
Oh, it's fantastic, John. See the scenery over there? Have a look with my telescope.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. What would Nora Batty make of this lot? From the Romans in 370 AD to the German bombers of 1940, just about everybody's had a go at Scarborough on the North Yorkshire coast. The castle was built in the 12th century, and there's not much left now. Can it withstand one final onslaught? The battle for the Citroën Vans Trophy for Britain's strongest man. This is the final heat. There are 5 events devised by a former world's strongest man, Jamie Reeves. 6 men going, only 2, though, will get to the final. Carry and flip.
The first part of this event is to carry these anvils, which are 120 kilos, around 18.5 stones, over the finish line. This is all about grip and forearm strength. Once the athletes have took the anvils over the finish line, they have to come back for this 400 kilogram tyre. To you and me, that's like flipping a cow.
To describe the action, our very own beefsteak, Paul Dickinson.
Lee Bowers, a former competitor in World's Strongest Man. He's now studying sports management, and he's back in Britain's Strongest Man. Next to him, a very, very experienced man indeed, Brian Bell from Scotland. He's competed in World's Strongest Man as well. And finally, looking bigger and fitter than ever before, Spencer Hyland, former graduate of Loughborough University. Those anvils ready and waiting. 120 kilos in each hand. And away we go. It's neck and neck. Lee Bowers gets away. He's away and running. Spencer Hyland in second place. Brian Bell in third. Hyland struggling just a little bit. Bowers makes the turn first. Then Brian Bell. Then Spencer Hyland. Now this massive tyre, 400 kilos. Lee Bowers is having a real problem. And Brian Bell had to go back. One of the anvils hadn't gone over the line. Spencer Hyland all of a sudden is in the lead. And there's no way Lee Bowers can shift that tyre at the moment. Spencer, Brian and Lee. There's our 1, 2, 3 at the moment. There's another heat of 3 very strong men to come. but Spencer Highland is winning. And Highland just having a slight problem there. He's got to watch that tyre doesn't crash back down on his knee. Brian Bell, a veteran of so many competitions. We've seen Brian Bell over the last 5 or 6 years appearing on Britain's Strongest Man. Highland just needs one more flip. He's being caught by the Scotsman, but Highland wins it. Brian Bell, close contention in second place, just outside 70 seconds. And poor old Lee Bowers, absolutely miles behind, having led at the halfway stage. But there's our winner.
How hard was that?
Very, exceedingly hard. Oh.
Where particularly?
On the tire flip. He's got no knees. Very heavy. He just wears you down. Oh.
Brian Bell was catching you step
and I
by
just saw
step.
that at the corner of my eye. I missed my grips. I thought, look, I just nipped it. Oh.
Total exhaustion there for Spencer Highland. Now we come to our next three. What credentials they've got as well. Full-time professional strongman. 3 times Britain's Strongest Man, Glenn Ross. Another professional. Forbes Cowan in his 40th year, looking quite relaxed. And finally, Christian Clay, the pride of Wales, trying to make it through to the final for the first time. The lead at the moment held by Spencer Highland, 69.01. Well, this guy, always a gritty competitor, and Christian Clay is coming away. This is magnificent from the young Welshman. Forbes Cowan in second place, Glenn Ross third. Now, if Christian Clay can produce a good time here, it would be a massive surprise. Forbes Cowan. He's probably competed in more strongman events than anybody else here in Scarborough. But it's still Clay fighting to get on level terms with the Scotsman. Glenn Ross in third place at the moment. Now Forbes Cowan comes away. There he is. On the far side, Glenn Ross, who has become Britain's Strongest Man 3 times in the past. Forbes Cowan, though, just one more flip of this 400-kilogram tyre. And he's done it. And it's a winning time as well. 51.29 for Forbes Cowan. Clay in second place, 56.73. And Glenn Ross, that is a clean sweep by those 3 competitors. Fantastic.
Looking pretty sharp there.
Sharp as a razor. Different year last year. I've trained hard for this year. Last 2 years I've just been messing about. A lot of people have just been looking right through me as if I'm not here. It's going to be a different year this year.
That was quite a tough threesome there with Glenn Ross amongst there, but you won it pretty emphatically.
My granny could have done that. She's been dead for 15 years. I mean, see what happens.
So realistically, how do you assess your prospects?
If I can come third in this group, I've done well. If I qualify, I've got the icing on the cake.
A good result there for the Celts, the Scotsman beating the Welshman, beating the Irishman, and Forbes Cowan could yet be somebody to watch in this heat.
One of the few means of transport our strongmen haven't pulled over the years is a lifeboat. And they're not going to start now. Instead, they're going to drag this massive anchor that weighs 250 kilograms up the lifeboat slipway to the end. It's a stern task. Who's going to take a bow at the end?
Well, it could be Lee Bowers or Brian Bell. Lee Bowers on the far side, wearing yellow. Brian Bell nearest us here in the camera. These 2 guys need good points.
Good time, move that,
they
mate.
finished last and second to last in the first event.
Get ready!
Just adjusting their position. Douglas Edmunds sends them on their way. Well, you can see what they've got to do. The incline is not huge, but the friction between the anchor and chain and the ground is massive. Lee Bowers struggling just a little bit to get a grip. Brian Bell is going well. Brian Bell coming ahead, but Lee Bowers catching. That concrete slipway, well, it's providing a huge task for these guys. Their legs, back, arm and hands will be burning. Brian Bell, a couple of pulls to go, and he could get this one over the line. The chain has to come over the finish line for the clock to stop. Oh, he's just short. Maybe one more pull for the Scotsman. Big pull there, and there it is. Brian Bell, 46.25. That is a very good effort indeed. Lee Bowers has come to a grinding halt here. He may well run out of time, and nothing is happening for Bowers at the moment. There goes the whistle, and his distance will be measured at around about 7 metres.
So what is it about Scottish men and pulling ropes?
Oh, well.
Everyone else is, all the Scotsmen are winning.
Aye, we're all good pullers, eh? That one, but that was very difficult. There's ruts on the ramp and you get caught in it. And your grip lasts for about 3 pulls, then you've got to twist it and just keep going. Use a lot of legs, but very difficult.
Well, Brian Bell seemed to recover from that event for that interview very quickly indeed. Now we've got Glenn Ross and Spencer Highland. Spencer nearest the camera. Did very well in the first. Ross got a lot to prove here, and there they are, neck and neck. Perhaps Ross is just ahead at the moment. Now his body weight is close to 400 pounds. That's got to be an advantage, but at the moment it's Highland who's in the lead, chasing Brian Bell's time of 46.25. Spencer Highland looking bigger and stronger than last year. Glenn Ross, 3 times the former champion, desperate to get his title back this year, surely. Spencer Highland putting everything into this. Glenn Ross just having a bit of trouble negotiating that rope. Still a long way to go for Glenn Ross. Spencer Highland so close here. Oh, not quite. Another pull is required. So Brian Bell is still in the lead. And Spencer Highland at the last gasp. He lost about 5 seconds there. Totally psyched up though, and Glenn Ross is just inches short himself. He's run out of time. That is it, 60 seconds on the clock. So Glenn Ross has got a little bit more work to do during this heat. Spencer Highland though in second place behind Brian Bell.
I'm just beating him at the end now, Van. It's fantastic. I can't ask for no more than that. Oh.
Things are going well, aren't they?
Touch wood, yeah.
Next to go were Christian Clay and Forbes Cowan. And things were going well for the Scotsman until the rope broke during his pull. You'll see that in just a second. The organisers then gave him the chance of a second pull, which would supersede the first. He took it, but it wasn't as good as the opening pull. And as a consequence, the man from Ayrshire was none too happy.
What happened was I was coming in for the rope, and when I was getting at a big long pull, instead of it moving a metre and a half, it was moving 6 inches because the rope was stretching. And the third one actually went again, and was it the third one that put me in 4th place, which I meant I'd been leading at the moment. These things happen, I suppose.
Another Scotsman, Brian Bell, much happier though. 46.25 seconds and 6 points for him. Spencer Highland in second place, but goodness me, this heat is going to be tight. Just 1 point separating the top 5 strongmen.
Well, this guy's a Welshman from the valleys. He's big, he's quite pretty. I've known him for 10 years on the strongman circuit. He always has a smile for everybody, and he can always have a joke with most people. You take him as he is, a big Welsh giant. His job is an upholsterer. He loves the nightlife of Cardiff. He loves his field sports. He's not very good at shooting. He's not very good at fishing. In fact, he's awful. But there's one thing what I can say about Christian. He makes a lovely brew of tea. Cheers, Christian.
Roll out the barrel. This is a squat lift with a difference, starting with 5 beer kegs in this crate weighing 235 kilograms and going up to a possible maximum of 320. Believe me, the pain on these guys' backs is going to be almost unbearable.
Christian Clay, the first man we're going to see. Knees, of course, heavily strapped here. That was good. The former powerlifting champion should find that no problem at all. Another 15 kilos goes on the weight. Christian is very tall. It's difficult when you're a tall man to squat properly, but he's doing it well. His ever-present grandfather will be in the crowd, John, urging him on. That's a bit more of a struggle, but Christian's still going well. Away we go. This is squat number 5. Oh, that's a real effort. And that's around about 39 seconds or thereabouts. Now, can he do number 6? Getting tremendous support from the crowd, but no more, says Christian Clay. He could well have cramped up there, but that's a solid start by the Welshman. 5 lifts in 39.49 seconds.
Bad result in the arm overarm, so I had to push it all out in this one.
A lot of effort went into that 4th one, didn't it?
Tell me about it.
Well, tell me about it.
I thought, oh, I got to get this. Managed to push it off the bottom. It started moving. I thought, just keep going with it. Just keep going. He went up. I'm happy. I live with that.
Forbes Can, less happy. 4 squats, 33.89. Brian Bell, not very happy at all. 2 in 12.11.
Well, Lee Bowers has had a disappointing start to this year's Britain's Strongest Man. So whatever happens here, he needs to score well. That was very precise. And given the thumbs up by Douglas Edmunds. That one too. He's got those heavy wraps on his knees, as much for support as for protection. Up to 20 seconds. This is very good by Lee Bowers. And he's looking very strong indeed. He goes into the lead. Squat number 6, and it's easy. This is superb from Lee Bowers. The final barrel goes on. The total weight, an incredible 705 pounds, and he's got it. Absolutely brilliant. That is much, much better from Lee Bowers. His best performance so far, 42.17 seconds.
Whatever happens, I'll keep on fighting till the bitter end. That's what it's all about. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow. So I'm surprised how easy that was, really. But happy about it, but nonetheless surprised.
Well, nothing in strongmen is easy. And this is Glen Ross. He's done so well in squatting competitions in the past, in any strongman competition he's ever entered. So this is going to be a real race against time. That's the first one. Oh, he's gone too early. The barrel wasn't in the cage. And Dougie Edmunds says you've got to start all over again. That has lost a lot of time. He won't make the same mistake again, surely. That is number 2. Now number 3, and Glen Ross, if he loses this, will be kicking himself. The squatting is not a problem. Watch how easy this is. Bang, and up. And now the clock is ticking away. Lee Bowers' time, 42.17. Can he do it? It's going to be so close. This is a race against the clock, and he's over the time. He's asking for more, but there isn't any more. Glen Ross is finished, and for the time being, the big man is in second place. He said he messed it up. He certainly did. That was a simple mistake to make. He'll be kicking himself.
You're pretty impressive there, and you're right in contention to qualify for the final. So what sort of shape are you in?
Hasn't been a night gone by. I'm had nightmares about it. Running around, put me out. It's Britain's strongest man, not Britain's fittest. And I'm the daddy. And don't ever forget it.
Well, Glen Ross very upset with himself over that last mistake. But now we move on to Spencer Hyland. Equal first place at the moment with both Ross and Brian Bell. Hyland gets underway, looking pretty easy on the first attempt. And those barrels come clattering down into the cage. And time has certainly become an issue in this event. That is squat number 3. So far, so good. Oh, he's gone! Oh, my goodness, the guy's in agony. This is desperate for Spencer Hyland. And the medical team are there very quickly. Jamie Reeves asking for a stretcher. There are still 2 events to go. Will we see Spencer Highland again in this competition?
Well, the answer to that question was no, and now you know how much a torn quadricep hurts. Highland picking up just 2 points there. Victory for Lee Bowers meant that the heat was now absurdly tight. Obviously only 5 men still left in, but 4 points separating the lot.
Trains and boats and planes and buses. You can't call yourself a strongman until you've pulled at least one piece of public transport. So here we go with a Scarborough open-top bus. The trouble is, it's not heavy enough. So, all aboard.
Clay has certainly got one of his best chances ever to make it through to this final. 2 events to go, of course, but he's lying in 2nd place overall, just behind Glen Ross.
Tell me when you're ready.
Yep. Just getting himself settled.
Tell me.
And referee Doug Edmunds making sure the big Welshman is ready. Now you've got to stay low. You've got to pull along the rope. A good guide is to see how the rope that's attached to the bus is lying. If it's level, he's just about right. He's a little bit above that at the moment, but going well. 10 tons of bus and passengers rolling along the seafront. Over 25 seconds now. And those climbing boots so useful on this surface. Knee bandages, wrist bandages. He's got to get over the line, then the bus has to cross the line before the clock stops. He's slowing just a little bit. He's well over 40 seconds now. It's 45.15 for Christian Clay, and that is quite a good target for everybody else to go for. But the big question mark at the moment is, can Clay stay in 2nd place? We'll have to wait and see.
Feet of Clay for Christian Clay. Lee Bowers much quicker, 36.2. And the bus driver, well, he should be good at this, Brian Bell, 36.06.
Forbes Cowan is confident of making it through to the final, so this could be a key event for him. Not an ounce of emotion on his face. He's not giving away anything. The climbing boots on, getting the tension right, and getting the grip right. Everything has to be perfect before he'll start. Away we go. The time so crucial. He's away to a good start. Over 5 meters already. Listen to the effort. This is a real sprint for the Scotsman. In terms of experience, nobody has got more than Forbes Cowan. He's competed for so many years now, and that is a real advantage once you get to this stage in a Britain's Strongest Man or any sort of strength competition. Over 30 seconds now. He's very close to the finish. It's fast. It is fast. 35.75. That is going to be very hard to beat. Oh, my goodness. Forbes Cowan's performed brilliantly. He is the Flying Scotsman.
And this heat's so tight, anybody will come through, but you hit 5 metres for the line, feels as if it's a house that's attached. That's a house in English, John. It's attached to the rope. You just got to dig in and keep on.
Not yet, no.
Well, that was a nice bit of translation there by Forbes Cowan, but now all eyes are on Glen Ross. And what a target he's got to go for. Away we go. The big man is off to a good start. He's wobbling around a little bit on the course, but this is good. Forbes Cowan's time, 35.75. And Glen Ross is really motoring. There's his wife, Yvonne. Ever present whenever Glen is appearing in strongman competition. And Glen Ross, who really is going well. Look at the size of the guy. He's almost as wide as the bus itself. This is fantastic. 35 seconds is getting very close. And he's just outside. Oh, what a finish. 36.03. But Glen Ross has finished in 2nd place. And what a heat we've got on our hands with just one event to go.
Key for every heat is to do as much as you can. We're not being spent for the final, because you've got top boys in Britain in the final, and you want to be warmed up but not spent. And to be honest, yeah, I pushed myself hard on that bus pull, as hard as I could, because stones are very taxing, and I'd rather just do a workout with them rather than being nervous and relying on them.
Forbes Cowan winning that one 35.75, ahead of Glen Ross, conserving his energy, as he said. And what that meant going into the Atlas Stones at the end was that Glen Ross, 2 points ahead of Forbes Cowan, looking over his shoulder at 3 other men, 3 points adrift. And we finished this heat off up on a very blowy cliff top with probably the most famous strongman task of them all.
This is a classic strongman event, it's the stones. You need a lot of leg strength, hip and overall body strength to lift these. And only a few guys in the world can say that they've lifted this number 5 stone.
Well, Christian Clay managed to get 3 stones up in a time of 34.61. Brian Bell, a bit slower, 3 in 34.86. And then Lee Bowers, with an almost superhuman effort, managed to get that elusive 5th stone up on the wall. His time was 61.19, but more to the point, would that be good enough to get him through to the final?
I don't know. You can only wait and see. I hope so, but I've done everything I can. I was a little bit unlucky on the truck pull, but these things happen, you know. Whatever happens, I'll be back next year. Try again.
That really was a fantastic performance by Lee Bowers. And by our calculations, Forbes Cowan and Glen Ross have got to lift at least 4 stones to ensure their place in the final is secure. Forbes Cowan looking very relaxed. Glen Ross, after a very slow start in this year's heat, he's come on strong, very strong. The arms covered in tacky to make sure no problem with the grip. Away we go. Glen Ross would love to win this one. At 100 kilos, going up like a feather. Forbes Cowan on the far side, going well too. This has been so entertaining, and up until this point, it's been very, very close on points as well. Cowan and Ross going head-to-head. What a climax to this final heat. And what a final we've got to look forward to. Ross and Cowan, neck and neck all the way. This one, 140 kilos. And Ross moves into the lead. This is superb. The final stone, 160 kilos. I have to emphasise, though, it's not as much as Glen Ross weighs himself. I think Forbes Cowan realises he's done enough, and Glen Ross certainly has. What a finish to this heat. And Glen Ross putting on a bit of a show. He's won it clearly. Great stuff from both men. 2 very big men, 2 enormously strong men. And as far as Glen Ross is concerned, half the job is done. He's made it through to the final, but can he win once again?
Oh, got to take your hat off to him on 5 stones. So strong. Was statically so powerful, he can move about. If it's a lot of running about, it catches him out. But apart from that was unbelievable. Simple as that.
Glenn, what do you feel?
I'm just glad that the Celtic blood in the group have come through again, and I'm happy. There have been no mistakes this year.
Certainly no mistakes there. Glen Ross, 5 stones, 50.38, awesomely powerful, and 6 points for him. Safely through to the final, along with Forbes Cowan. Lee Bowers, great effort in the Atlas Stones, not enough. And what it means is, all of Britain will have a say in who is Britain's strongest man. A Welshman, an Irishman, 3 Scots and 5 Englishmen, all fighting it out for the Citroën Vans trophy. Hi Glenn, congratulations getting to the final again. Don't you love these old seaside resorts? You get the most fantastic stuff here.
Thanks, John.
And the final is Monday, 4:45 on BBC One.